Hello guys, welcome back to the Robozzini channel, and today we're doing something different. Something that needs to be done as we introduce to the podcast today Kris Guns, mental health ambassador for the Canaries Trust Mental Health, and of course a Norwich fan as well. How you doing today, mate? You right?
Yeah, mate, very, very, very good. So, had a nice whiskey. Calm myself down.
Yeah, no, nice, not a little bit of Christmas whiskey. You have a good Christmas
Yeah,
and that?
not too much. Nice and quiet with the family. You know how it
Yeah,
is. Just try and keep yourself calm.
that's it. Yeah, no, best way, mate, best way. So Kris, you work for the Canaries Trust Mental Health and as I started to slowly get the ball rolling on this podcast today, what do the Canaries Trust Mental Health actually do?
We're sort of an arm to the Canaries Trust itself, the supporters trust for Norwich City. 12th largest shareholder at the club. I was asked by Chairman Robin Sainty to head up sort of mental health division because it's such a big conversation we're having these days,
Yeah,
and we didn't really have a way of communicating with the fans for that. And with my history of mental illness and my campaigning, Robin sort of no-brainer asked me, and I jumped at the chance.
a nice one. Yeah, no. I was gonna say, I know there's like more than one of you as well. How many is there working right now for the Canaries Trust Mental Health?
The mental health side, there's primarily myself, Nick O'Brien, who's also part of the Proud Canaries, and Glenn Bate, who's part of the Canaries Trust Board as well.
Yeah,
We've all got different sort of specialities. Mine's general mental health with depression, that side of things. Nick is safeguarding, and Glenn Bate does some brilliant work for a charity called Cadastil UK.
yeah.
He's more specialist in the brain injury side of things.
That's nice, yeah. Because I was gonna say I've got you guys on Twitter, and I see different posts now and then from different people. Obviously, like admins of the Twitter group. Brilliant. So and how long has it been going on for now?
The mental health side of things, I joined as the ambassador in, I think, July time.
Yeah,
Primarily doing it off my own back, off my own Twitter account. And only the last about 3 weeks, we actually set up a proper dedicated account for the mental health side.
yeah. Oh, nice one. Nice one. Brilliant to hear. And obviously, on the 16th of March this year, we saw the country go into lockdown, something we'd never seen before in this country, leaving people to be without a job. It left people with no contact with anyone, and pretty much left to pass the time by themselves, really. How much of an impact did a particular event in time like this have on people's mental health, do you think, as a country?
I think it's the fact that you have things just suddenly taken away from you. Is you just lost that control. And I know from my own experience with mental illness is having the control. If you don't have the control, you really will struggle. And I think people being stuck indoors, not being able to see family, and especially with supporting Norwich, not being able to get to a ground,
Yeah,
you've just lost everything all of a sudden, and you're just left staring at a blank space, and that's just not good for anybody at any stage. And I say I know a lot of Norwich fans found it incredibly difficult. Just all of a sudden,
yeah,
there's no football. That's it.
yeah.
So some people got no job, no income, and then all of a sudden, there's no football as well. And he's like, well, what do I do
Yeah,
now?
what I do. Yeah, no, you are right. Yeah, and like, I remember it as well because it was we left it at quite a good point really because in the Premier League it was kind of like a matter of will we survive or not, and but mainly it was I don't know if you went, but the Spurs FA Cup game that left us just before, and we were all in good spirits after that, despite us being bottom of the league. But it was annoying really, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think you saw that as well from when Project Restart came back, and you
yeah,
saw how everything was just so different. Everyone was a bit distracted, I think,
yeah.
and that just showed from the fans all the way through to the players, and that effectively ruined our season, I think.
Yeah, yeah, no, I definitely think Yeah, I mean, I was going to speak about football at the end of it, but like even like that, the next, I can't help it. The next round of the FA Cup against United, you know, like if we had the fans backing us on that day, I think we could have crossed the line and beat them. But anyway, we saw researchers explaining that public health measures like lockdowns are definitely necessary to protect the population's health, really. But warn that they have a profound and long-lasting effect on mental health. They looked at a study as well, sadly finding suicidal thoughts increasing from 8% to 10%, and they were the highest amongst young adults. So that's anyone between the age of like 18 to 29 year old bracket. And that was rising from 12.5% to 14%. How vital is it right now for people to see the importance in being there for others when it comes to mental health and not leaving anyone alone?
I think from my own personal experience is it's so vital to know that you have someone to talk to. That's why I share my blogs. I think it's so important to know that what you're going through isn't unusual. A lot of people, especially with COVID, on furlough or lost their jobs, you have the financial worries on top of everyday stresses, and it'll snowball. And it's just important to be able to talk to someone without judging anybody, and because it's very easy. It's I've got no money, I've got no hopes, I can't tell anybody because I think I'm a loser. It's very important to get that message out there that no one ever thinks you're a loser.
No, yeah.
I've seen. I think the phrase going around, "I'd rather listen to your problems than listen to your eulogy." I think that's a fantastic saying.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you are right, and like a year like this, we're gonna have more problems, if anything, aren't we? You know, going through like such a sort of mental year. Luckily, coming towards the end of it. Now, on this podcast today, we are going to stick away from the football theme, really, and primarily this podcast is going to be about on coping with lockdown. Trying to get some kind of advice from Kris and that. Taking it back to March again, though, we saw the football leagues around the country to be suspended. How big of an impact does football have on many people's weekly routines, whether you go to the game or not? You've obviously, many people have it updated on the phone, coming from Sky and that, or you're there at Carrow Road for me and you, let's say, watching your team at 3 o'clock on a Saturday.
Yeah, I think a lot of us spoke on the trust itself, and said how when you just suddenly lose football, there's no way of venting after a tough week. You get down to Carrow Road or anywhere, and you can shout and you can scream and you get it all out. You notice tenfold on Twitter, especially, how all of a sudden everyone's having to go at each other. That's because you've lost that ability to shout obscenities at an Ipswich player. Sorry.
No, you're all right, yeah.
But I say it's just the fact that you're, again, having something taken away from you like that.
Yeah.
And say the everyday stresses that you have in life, and everything can just come pouring out on a Saturday afternoon. I mean, I remember from my own thing, I wouldn't go and see my dad ordinarily and say, "Oh, hi, Dad," and jump on him. But again, we're playing Millwall and scored 94th minute. I have no second thought about it. I'm jumping all over him.
No, you're right.
So
yeah.
Everyone's just lost that release.
Yeah, no, I went to the Liverpool game the start of last season. Like, we lost 4-1, but the goal we scored in the second half was brilliant. I mean, me and my brother tried to get seats next to each other, but we couldn't, so we were kind of far away. But I remember when the goal went in, I think I was hugging strangers. I was like, yeah, you know, even though I knew no way would we get the 3 points. It was a bit too late then. No, yeah, you are right though, and like the feeling when a goal comes in is absolutely something else. Like for your own club.
You don't get it. Yeah, you don't get it in any other walk of life. You don't. When the bus turns up, you don't run down the street going, "Yeah, the bus is here." Football is the only thing that gives you that release.
Yeah. No, you are right. I was speaking to someone at work. What was it, yesterday? And she was kind of saying how football doesn't really much. But I said, like, you'd be so surprised how much it is for this country, and like how much revenue it brings in for like pubs and like even supermarkets for, like, you know, alcohol sales and that. You know, obviously everyone likes a beer, and now watching the games, it's massive for this country. in many years now, though, football has become a social activity, like you say. You know, we normally will meet friends or even family in a pub, at the ground, or before the game or after it. Football right now is not just the sport or a sport, but it's about being able to meet others, isn't it? And being able to talk to each other.
Yeah, again, that's if you go into the football and you're talking to like your mates or whatever about the football, you are just talking generally. And again, you can vent that you've had a dodgy week at work. You can talk to people about that. And for me especially, I live up in Chesterfield, in Derbyshire. And the away game is a great chance to see people that I talk to on Twitter or who I know in Norwich who have come up to a game. And again, because I was all die of death, I haven't seen anyone from Norwich for months.
Yeah.
And it's just that the whole thing, the whole social aspect, as you say, everything's just gone. And I say that's working on the trains. You see that on a Saturday afternoon, you'd have trains full of blokes and women, of course, with crates of beer, having a good laugh, a bit of banter with them, and all of a sudden, a click of a finger or a click of a government's mouse, that's it. It's gone.
Yeah, no, it is frustrating. I was going to say you work on the trains, don't you, as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely become a place to talk with mates, or even making new mates. Really, how important with football put to one side now? How important is it, like times like these, to talk to people, and not to be alone?
No shadow of a doubt. Not just when you're going through a pandemic, just at any time. As always, if you've got any problems, I mean, I am the biggest hypocrite going that I would never talk to anybody. I will close off, and that's what I've tried to say to people before. Yeah, I'm a hypocrite. I won't talk. So for Christ's sake, please, someone talk to me, talk to a mate, talk to somebody.
Yeah.
Because it is. Yeah, when I have talked to someone, like talk to my wife, or even just talk to a random on Twitter, you feel so much better, so much relief, and stress off your back. The old thing of a problem shared is a problem halved, and it's just a massive weight off your shoulder if you can talk. And then people like say that us at the Canaries Trust, we can help them signpost you to where you need or where you can get assistance from. Because if you don't talk, you suffer in silence. And so I've been there, and I'm not going to go down the whole grim path of what I've been through, but I don't want anyone to go down that route. So it's important that we can get people to talk to each other.
Yeah, no, it is a dark hole to go down, and yeah, it's great to see different like places like this, like now, like yourself, for instance. There's other charities that we will talk about a little later on. But like you said, there are still things we could do. Obviously, right now we're on a Zoom call doing this video today. You've even got Skype. So we at the start of lockdown, me and my family thought we'd do like a family quiz. Obviously, quiz things then were popular. We've still carried on ours since March. Every Tuesday, we've got one. Yeah, today's Monday. We've got one coming up tomorrow night. But that's really good because we just talk to each other. Like, after the quiz, we'll stay on for like an hour, half an hour or so, just seeing how we are and just talking about. I guess like we shouldn't really talk about it, but it gives us something to talk about the pandemic really, and discussing about different tiers and different things like that. It's healthy for the mind, and that I mean for me as well. Obviously I play on my PC, on PlayStation as well, just with different mates. I talk to them through the headset, and that's also good. So many people do watch-along parties when watching the games as well. It's great to see stuff like this happen, you know what I mean? Like communicating through, and obviously still having, being in this day and age, having something like Skype and Zoom to talk to when watching a game, let's say. Yeah.
That's, as you say, that's a brilliant way to sort of substitute what we've all lost from watching a match. I know the Talk Norwich City lads have done a fantastic job with that.
Yeah, big up Jack and Kris.
Yeah, to watch.
Yeah.
But similarly, the Norwich City Fans Social Club, they've been doing their quiz evenings over Facebook Live. I think they've had a couple of fan meet and greets as well.
Yeah.
Online. and that is, as you say, it's amazing how we can use these technologies to 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 replace what we've lost. I mean, at the trust, we had our AGM online, and we had our Women in Football event online. And we're planning something in the new year as well around mental health, and that will be online as well. So it is about making use of what you have to help and to talk. I say I live in Chesterfield. My mum and dad live obviously back in Norwich. FaceTime, it's brilliant. It's
Yeah, yeah,
don't want to do without it. But as I
yeah.
say,
No, you are right.
it's fantastic.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's so vitally important to have like times like this. And yeah, that the watch along that Jack and Chris do is brilliant as well. And obviously, you can like communicate on the live chat whilst they're doing it. And well, where I met, well, where I found you was on Twitter, and I think Twitter is a great platform as well. It does get some hate at times, and so it should do with some of the things I do. But with many people sharing, it is a place where many people can share their opinions online. Social media does get a lot of neglect at times, and like I said, so it should. But just how good is social media to have during lockdown to speak to others?
Yeah, it's again another form of release, another form of support. Just the last week or so, I've had issues on Twitter, but equally I've been told by Robin Sainty that people have been there and they said, "Oh, is Kris all right?" So you have your own sort of support network through Twitter, and as I said, like Kris and Jack with their watch along on Talk Noise City. Sometimes like Twitter was just like that. It's like a watch along.
Yeah, yeah.
And sometimes you think, well, am I watching different games what everyone else is? But that's by the by. But yeah, it's a fantastic sort of support network more than anything else. Twitter and Facebook. Obviously, if you're more that way, then LinkedIn, all those sort of ways. And it's quite an easy way of finding support as well from the mental health charities or any other charities you may need.
Yeah, true, definitely. And yeah, obviously, like, well, we obviously see it from a football point of view, but so many people, obviously, Norwich fans we see on there. You can even have banter with rivalry fans on there as well. Put up a tweet saying, "Oh, unlucky," with a winky face, whatever like that. But it is a great way to still have that like social contact or social activity with other people. Going back to yourself now as a mental health ambassador, what kind of help can you provide during a national lockdown?
Primarily, I'm the sort of first point of call if you want advice on what help you need. I'm always happy to listen to anybody. I'll talk to anybody. I've helped a few people since March, just talking, just chatting. I suffer from a condition called borderline personality disorder. It sounds probably more horrific than it actually is, but it's having that experience of mental illness means I am probably quite well positioned to advise people on what they're going through. I say working sort of alongside Nick and Glenn and Gary Dack at the football club, the head of Safeguard Norwich City, and we can all work together to help signpost people to what they need. Primarily, the whole reason behind the Canaries Trust Mental Health side of things was to have that focal point for Norwich fans, but any fans. We made it clear throughout, any fans of any club can come to us with their questions, and we will do our best to either help them or signpost them to where they need to be.
Yeah, no, nice. And it's definitely worth it. Getting in touch and kind of just getting your voice heard at the end of the day. Just to quick clarify, the safeguarding part, what does that involve?
It's mainly if you are sort of vulnerable and you will need urgent help. It's the safeguarding side of things is there for that. It's sort of when you're looking in general terms, domestic abuse, child abuse, anything that really is that serious side of things. Requires an element of safeguarding. that's generally something that we'd either inform either Gary at the football club or Nick at the trust. Those two blokes obviously been trained very well in what to do with that, and
Doing it, yeah.
that is their roles.
Yeah. Yeah, I've honestly, I think it's such a big role to be a mental health ambassador, and hats off to you guys. Honestly, tremendous what you're doing right now, and we need it right now. Talking with many specialists, they've said that it's essential we all look after our own mental health. However, like the first wave, we also need to continue to check in with people if we think they are struggling. It's being able to communicate to one another again, but at a safe distance, isn't it, really? Improvising with the new lockdown measures.
Yeah, it's. I think a lot of people can find it awkward to talk to people about never seen before, and it's all about crossing that threshold. But you can probably end up making friends out of it. I mean, when we first moved into this house, we had problems with next door neighbours. During this, we've been there, we've done their shopping for them, we've cut their grass for them. So it's all about, it's kind of a weird sense of community that this whole pandemic has brought. and that level of support has been weirdly really good for mental health awareness as well, because everyone's like, oh, I can now talk to Joe Blogs about what I'm doing because he's asked me how I am. And you have to try and look at the positives of all this pandemic nonsense, but they are certainly a few of the positive things to take from it is that sort of weird sense of community.
No, yeah, you're right, and I guess like they say, there's advantages and disadvantages with everything in life, just especially a pandemic, weirdly enough. And I guess as well, people during a pandemic may find it easier to speak to someone else, like a mental health ambassador like yourself, online, rather than, let's say, you're going to meet someone so today at 1:00 in this room. It can be quite daunting. I guess it's a bit easier, isn't it?
Yeah, so I'll hold my hands up that I'll quite happily talk more online or via email or live chat in any sort of situation. I find it easier sort of having that sort of faceless experience that, well, if I can't see them, they can't judge me. I mean, and no one's judging you in person.
No,
but it just can be easier. And I think that's, going back to social media again, that's what a lot of things are on social media. People put things out there because, well, it's out there now, I've said it and no one can see me saying it. And as you say, during the pandemic, obviously before the pandemic, you'd have, XYZ, you can go and see Councillor Barry at 12:00 at this place. And immediately you start thinking, my heart's going, I don't know what to do. But now it's like, I've got to meet so-and-so online and chat to them online for half an hour.
Yeah.
I can do that. Because I'm in my safe space. And that's amazing. Again, that's amazing that's one of the best things to come out of this.
Yeah.
And I say it's like all this working from home, everything is because it's all online now. It's made everything so much more accessible, weirdly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. Yeah, and especially like because I think when you're left with so much time, even when you're without a job and you're left with so much time, or you have a job and you're kind of stuck in four walls at home, it can leave you with your own thoughts and different things like that. Kind of less time to preoccupy your mind, different things like that. I feel lucky in a way because I work in like retail that I've not stopped, kind of thing. So I feel lucky and one of the fortunate ones, but you can be left in not doing anything all day and just kind of ticking over of different thoughts, can't you, kind of thing.
Yeah, that's quite often again with the worst thing of if you're off work with an illness, then probably the worst thing for you because you are just sat at home, same four walls, and it's horrible. I can imagine it must be really a real nightmare for anyone who's had the unfortunate time of being off work for mental illness during this pandemic, because you don't have the opportunity to get out. But again, you have with the likes of FaceTime, Skype, Zoom, you have that ability to at least be social. And again, there's probably a better way of doing that because when I've been off before, you're sort of waiting at a bus stop and you're going again, I don't know if I want to go out, I can't do this. Whereas if you're at home, at any point you don't want to do it, you just hang up, job's good, and off you go.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and I think when I mean, he got a bit of stick for it when Boris Johnson announced that. I think it was back in March or April time now that we could go outside and have a walk. A lot of people were taking the mick out of it, saying, "Oh, thank God it's a walk," different things like that. But it's quite important, isn't it? Really, because I guess that when you're outside, you can then meet someone else in a park. Let's say a kind of 2 meter gap, can't you?
That's the whole thing about it's exercise. I mean,
that's it. Yeah,
I have the body of a Greek god, which is like one of the fat ones, but it's all about a bit of walking. I mean, I bike to work, and there's endorphins. Even if you're not meeting someone, you're out, you're walking, you're getting fresh air, and ultimately it's good for you. I mean, Calm did a charity thing the other month called Lost Hours Walk to raise awareness for suicide, and I signed up to it. And I thought, I'm not going to be able to do this, but yeah, when I did it. It was lovely. I went for the walk with the dog, and I felt really good. And it was just so nice, just a bit of peace and quiet as well. You don't have to always go out and meet somebody. But as you say, if you're out and you say to a mate, "Oh, I'm going for a walk down by the canal. Do you want to meet up?" Yeah, brilliant. You met up with somebody, and as long as you're 2 meters apart, and you're not going to hug them when you see them, that's great. It's all about finding the positives again.
Yeah, no, definitely. I remember I had a week off work in April, I believe, like at the end of April, and I needed it definitely, and I kind of thought, I'm gonna do this and this and that, but I think I spent a lot of time like walking my dog. I think he must have got bored of walks in the end, but it felt good, like just to be outside and just not having to work as well. I felt really good. Certain funds are going to be taken in place. We'll see that £10 million will be provided to mental health charities, with the NHS mental health service adapted in times like these to provide that additional support, like digital appointments, for example. I think this is so important, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Without getting political, the mental health service has been badly underfunded for years, and I think it's like everything because of this. Finding everything has been underfunded, and now we need to get money back into it. But yeah, it's great. I mean, I'm currently studying for a degree in psychology and counselling because I want to affect change the way I can. And I think a lot of that now is people going, I can help. And if you pump the money in and you invest it properly, then you'll get the right people in place, and we can all help, because mental illness isn't going to get better anytime soon because of the stresses of everyday life. So it's in a weird way, again, with coronavirus coming along and making the government pump money into the sector, it's going to do wonders for the mental health industry, and hopefully we start to see definite benefits from it in the next 2-3 years.
Yeah, no, definitely right. And it's that thing again, like you can, I mean, my dad said it before, if you struggle from anxiety or depression, it's all in your head, isn't it? As in, like that illness is stored in your head. But however, if you can't walk and you have a wheelchair, you can identify the kind of disability there. But I mean, I can see it on your green screen right now. The scribbles in the head. It's about kind of the head. It's all in the head, isn't it? Really, you can't see it or tell that someone has it at times. So it's kind of very important in this day and age. Just going back real quickly. I've done tried many new things like during lockdown and different things like that. I mean, this YouTube channel I started during lockdown. It was just something for me to do. And obviously yourself as a mental health ambassador, I'm sure we might have some people like interested at some point maybe. But how do you become a mental health ambassador?
All I did was just basically a right pain in the arse on Twitter and social media by just saying that I have issues and I'm getting it out there. I've had an amount of grief as well for putting it out there so openly. But that's basically all you have to do, is you just have to say that either if you have your own battles, then be open about it, and you can make that positive difference. You don't have to have a fancy title like mental health ambassador. You can just be a mental health campaigner, volunteer, or I mean, even if you're just passionate about helping people, then that's great. Just get yourself out on social media, out or even in public, just anywhere, just to say, look, I'm here to help, and I want to be a point of contact for you. It's as simple as that. I mean, the reason that I have this posh title at Canaries Trust is because we needed a focal point
Yeah.
for that, and Robin and the rest of the board knew that I've been campaigning since 2006, and I'm very open about my illness. But I say it's not necessarily a thing you have to been through to understand it. You could be a carer for somebody, or you could just have a mate who's had anxiety attacks.
Yeah.
If you want to help, just get yourself out on Twitter and say, I want to help. As simple as that.
Be there, yeah. No, yeah, definitely. And I mean, whatever you may say about it, but your kind of role as ambassador, it definitely kind of like is a focal point, a quite significant point. You know, you look at it and you kind of think, okay, this is who I should go to. You know, it gives that nice title about it. But yeah, like you say, you can even just be a friend, can't you, and just be there for people.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a good friend of mine. She actually did an interview with me for the Sheffield Star newspaper.
Oh yeah.
And she didn't really understand what I'd been through altogether, but she was brilliant. And she said, I've got an idea. I want to talk to you about it. Are you happy about it? And I went, yeah. And it's just little things like that. That's being a mental health campaigner in itself, just by raising the awareness of it. And it's just extraordinary. Just little things like that can make such a big difference.
No, yeah, no, you are right, and you are good on Twitter and all that. I won't name names, but I saw recently it was someone put a tweet out saying, "Oh, feeling a bit down," and that, and you were there straight away with a reply saying, "Here if you ever need me, you know where my DMs are, you know." That is brilliant like that, mate. Yeah, and I've met some. I mean, like yourself, I've met different people on Twitter now who are Norwich fans, even some Spurs fans, and different people like that. And yeah, I'll always look after or like keep an eye out from them, you know, and that. And if they ever put a tweet out saying that, I'll straight away in the DMs. I think it's important like that, isn't it? Yeah. Obviously, there are many numbers for people to call as well. You don't have to speak to your best mate or whatever, but no, different numbers we can call as well as. In order for people to never be alone during lockdowns and to have someone to talk to, isn't there? I know you sent me a thing today. I don't know if you want to explain about the charities.
The main ones that we're involved with at the Canaries Trust are Mind, mental health charity. I've been doing a lot of campaigning for them for about 10 years now.
Yeah.
They're fantastic. They got dedicated helplines. They're so almost informal with it. Then the other, I like a good laugh. A charity called Calm, the campaign against living miserably. They've actually got a thing called the Football Collective, which anybody can join. The Canaries Trust are part of it as well. And it's just a case of with them, you can just chat, have a laugh, and chat about anything you want to. But you're just again having that support if you need it.
Yeah.
We've also got a partnership with Headway, which is the brain injury charity. Glenn set that up for us, and they've done some fantastic work with us. We also have connections with Sporting Chance, albeit that's more sort of professional side of things. So
yeah.
I don't really have a lot to do with them, but it's just a case of, do you want to help us? And they're like, yeah, what do you want? So,
yeah. No, yeah.
So we've got.
Yeah.
There's also the charities like there's Rethink. There's obviously the Samaritans. There's Time to Change, who have sadly had their funding taken away from them. So make the most of them while you can. Yeah. There's just so many out there. And I say the little promo thing I sent to yourself. Just you listen. Think,
yeah.
There's so many people. There's so many
there
people
are. yeah. I was like, Jesus, you know, yeah. No, my cousin used to. I don't think she does anymore, but she used to work at Headway. And I believe I think they've got one in Bury or something like that. But yeah, she met some great people there though. Yeah, and helped there a lot, and she done a great part for them. But yeah, it's there's so many charities about nowadays. But it's good, isn't it? Really, to me, you know, yourself, Mind, and Headway, and different charities like that. They're kind of on the same line as the NHS heroes, really. You know, like kind of as important in a way right now because like left in lockdown like that, you are left without anyone really, and like, even before lockdown, people would struggle with mental health, and kind of like talking from with footballers now. I picked this moment out today, but I remember last season we played Watford. I believe it was, we just played Watford as well, but we played Watford in the Premier League and lost that day as well. But obviously I know Buendia gave the ball away, and after that online it was typical really, because it annoys me with some of these fans sometimes. They gave him absolute crap completely, and a few months down the line, in January or whatever, he plays well again and they give him support. But I remember after that Watford game in November 2019, he just deactivated his Instagram account just because the amount of people were giving him hate. It's awful to see that, isn't it?
Yeah, I had an interesting conversation with Gary Tack at the football club about this.
Yeah.
And he said you've got lads like Todd Cantwell come through. They're still boys, effectively.
Yeah,
and
completely.
All of a sudden they got 10,000 people saying, "Oh, you're a dickhead, you're shit, you get rid of you, we don't want you no more."
Yeah.
And he's thinking, well, why do I do this?
Yeah,
and it's interesting, I think the club put out a video from a couple of months back now with Alex Tetty and Todd Campbell reading the abuse they got.
I remember that, yeah. That was good.
Yeah. And And Gary said to me before, he said, whenever I get abuse for what I do, he said, just watch that video and watch how Alex Tetty deals with it. Because it's just a bit of like, oh, he said, I'm dodgy. Oh, never mind. That's a brilliant way of dealing with things.
Yeah, that is.
It's right. But I say that's the thing. Like, people don't realise that these kids are so young that can affect them just as well as it can affect anyone. Just because they've got a load of money and they're playing for the best football club in East Anglia, it don't mean
I like that a lot.
I'll get it in. This is fans kick off. But yeah, no. But they say that don't matter. They could be millionaires, and mental health doesn't discriminate against anybody.
Yeah.
You know, if you're rich or poor, it don't matter. And you know, as you say, we all love Emmy Buendia. Oh my God, he can be infuriating at top.
Oh God, yeah.
But just think of it. You think, oh, if I was playing for Norwich, and they'd be able to be very desperate for that to be the case. But if someone gave me a load of abuse, how would I cope with that?
Yeah, that's it. And it definitely goes back to the saying, money can't buy happiness, can't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you are right. And, yeah. And I mean, like you say, like we could be so infuriated with whoever, like especially like with Buendia, you know, like I thought the game against Watford that we recently played, I thought he was going to get us back down to 10 men, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I never kind of say anyone's been bad or you know, I might say they've had a bad game, but I won't call them this or that, you know. But everyone has bad games, you know, and they're only human at the end of the day. I think Jesse Lingard was another one as well. I know he's had many problems, like with his mum. I believe she's had an illness. I'm kind of biased at times, really. I'll only kind of read into Norwich stuff. I won't kind of bother with any of the other clubs. But I know Lingard kind of struggled with it a little as well. But yeah, it's definitely back down to the saying money can't buy happiness, and footballers are still human. And I think people forget about that at times.
I'll say, yeah, I'll hold my hands up in years ago now before I joined the trust meeting, and I got frustrated with Delia Smith and Michael being in charge of the club. I thought, wow, they're not doing anything here, and I laid into them on Facebook or whatever, on the Pinkham message board back in the day.
Yeah. And
I was lucky enough to meet Delia a couple of years ago when the club launched a fan hub.
Yeah.
And you meet her, you think, what a lovely woman. And she has nothing but good things to say about the club. And you think, Christ, why was I having to go with the poor woman for? And that's just it. But because you're like a little keyboard warrior, you're away and you got anybody I want. It doesn't mean it's right, but I say I can hold my hands up there and say, look, I've done it. I'm not proud of it, but I moved on. And you know, that's what people have got to bear in mind.
Yeah. I mean, like at the end of the day, everyone kind of thinks they're like Jamie Carragher and Gary Neville, don't they? You know, they kind of it should be this and that. But yeah, no, they're lovely people, like Delia and Michael. and what they've done for the club is brilliant. I'm kind of glad. I mean, we're kind of speaking more football now, but I'm kind of glad we're not in that kind of position like with Wigan. I think it's no West Brom. Sorry, I mean Wigan's the same, but West Brom. I believe they've, like I said again, I'm just Norwich really, but they've got Chinese owners, I believe, and they've been there for 5 years now, and I'm pretty sure they've only gone to 2 games or something like that. But Dealey and Michael, that is purely 100% them. What you see was what you get. Passion and support for the club. And I guess I'm guessing you have quite a lot of or a type of conversation with Norwich, don't you? Or like because say if so and so, say like Todd is a bit down, or different other players are struggling right now during lockdown, I guess you guys can perhaps like provide help on Twitter and say kind of advise people to kind of cheer them up in a way.
Yeah, we're lucky as part of the trust. We're lucky to have a good relationship with Norwich City, so we know what kind of goes on here and there. So we know what the club is trying to achieve. So if we're witnessing anything on social media that we don't think is right, I'll tell Gary Dack, who's like basically the Norwich City social media supremo for that, for the abuse. He's fantastic in that. But yeah, we can do our own part by saying, oh, right, TC had a bad game. He blazed one over from 6 yards out. But, you know, we're still top of the league. We're still going to win the league. We're still going to, you know, just calm yourselves down. Yeah. And eventually most people will turn around and say, oh, you know, I was wrong there. I'm not saying I'm perfect. None of us on the board are perfect. We'll all shout and swear. But that's part of the emotion of being a Norwich fan. But you just don't take it. Just don't take it so far that you say, oh, you're better off dead, because, you know, that's not true of anybody. Even them not taking A140, I would wish anything on them. I mean, a few of those lads I've got COVID, and as much as I hate them, I wouldn't want them to be struggling with any illness like that.
No.
That's where people have to be a bit mature, I think.
Yeah, no, you're right. Like, I got a mate from work, and yeah, I mean, I've heard like Paul Lambert with the virus at the moment, and you know, he's actually sadly an Ipswich fan. I mean, I say to him, I guess someone has to support him, you know, and that. But I'll have a bit of banter with him in the morning and that, and then I'll kind of put that to one side and ask him, oh, how's this going in that, and how's he doing, and yeah, like kind of try my best to take an interest in the club, you know.
Oh yeah, I'm not going to say, oh, I really wish they all do very well.
No. God, yeah. I keep saying to them that they'll have Kings Lynn soon as their local derby and that, but you know what I mean? Yeah. But no. Like getting back to the players, like Todd is one to like you say, he's a boy, and he like many others. I mean, I'm not like this, but like he'll express his emotions on social media, you know, for an Instagram story and that. I think that kind of puts him massively at the spotlight as well, doesn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think a little bit of that. Sometimes he's probably a little bit mismanaged more than anything. I think someone says to him that, oh, you're the big I am. I think Farke alluded to that in the summer, that some of these players think that they've made it and they've still got to learn, but they've got management telling them that, oh, you've made it, son, you're on your way. Yeah. And I think that's just all that is, the impetuous of youth. I don't think he's ever thinks he's the best thing since sliced bread, but he doesn't put it across very well.
No, yeah, you are right, yeah. And you know, like as much as I hate him to see him go, like you know, like Max Aarons and Carnwell, as much as I hate him to see him go, at the end of the day, that is, you know, they could do what they want to do, you know. If they want to sadly play for Leeds, they can sadly play for Leeds, you know. But it is like that. I don't know
what you want to, but
yeah, no, I can't see it either. But yeah, I think, I mean, I'm glad we're kind of alluding to Norwich now, because I kind of want to end the podcast in a bit of a lighter mood. And I mean, one of the topics today I keep seeing is Buendia, you know, Arsenal or not next month. Oh, I'd hate that.
I think the position we're in, I think it'd be a bit mad to sort of entertain any idea for the minute. I mean, get us up, and, you know, even say the likes of Everton or one of the sort of the top 5-6 teams can come in, then yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
I'm still not sure whether he's cut out for the best teams because of his shall we say, its impetuous nature. I think that could
Yeah.
get him in a bit of trouble.
Yeah, no, you're right.
But yeah, fair play to him. I mean, the one player that I would hate to see us lose would be Max Aarons, because he's
Yeah,
just brilliant. I mean,
yeah. No, you are
no way
right.
of putting it.
Yeah.
But the same as Ben Godfrey. We've moved on since Goddard has gone, and we've not done too badly.
No, we haven't. No, and like you say with Max Aarons as well. Some people say he gave the ball away against, or gave the goal away. Sorry, shall I say, against Watford. A week before that, they were loving him. You know, it classic fans really. You know, change and go. But yeah, I'd hate to see him go as well, mate, because I think he's been like great defensively, but also great in the attack this season.
Yeah, and considering he's only young as well, he's a great professional as well for the other lads who are coming through to learn from. I mean, you say about the goal against Watford and people were laying at him. I thought it was a bit harsh because Emmy were going forward and they were pushing forward. All right, they both cocked it up and Watford went the other end. But, you know, I'd rather have us going forward and trying to attack. And I don't want us to concede, but I'd rather us going forward and attack rather than sort of play the Sheffield Wednesday way with 10 men behind the ball.
Yeah, no, yeah, God, yeah, you're right. A Pulis way, shall we say, in that as well. Yeah, yeah. And again, like, it's still quite a young squad, isn't it? You know, and we're kind of vigilant in a way, and you give those players enough abuse, and they might burst themselves.
Yeah, I think a lot of this with these new young boys who have been signing contracts, a lot of pressure on them. I think we probably do well to just ease off that a bit because they are young. And I think Neil Adams mentioned on that All in Yellow podcast the club do that, you know, these players, they have a plan for them. They'll go out on loan, they'll learn, and they'll come back. No, that's fantastic. But I don't like the whole when they sign a contract, well, they'll be in next week and they'll score a hat-trick. No.
No, yeah. You got to give them time at the end of the day, haven't you? And like, it can affect anyone at any age, I guess. But it's like when Krul went out and McGovern came in, he's going to... And when people were kind of saying, oh, you know, he can't do this, can't do that. Well, he's going to be shaky because he hasn't had that many games. But I remember, I think it was against Brentford or something like that. I can't remember now. We played so many games that it was he made some great saves and I'm not gonna say he's gonna see this tweet I put out on Twitter, but I bigged him up. I basically said that is gonna be huge for him. You know, that's gonna give him a massive adrenaline, and he's gonna those few class saves that he's made is gonna be great going on just to kind of recover for Krul being out.
Yeah, actually, come back to me what you said earlier about as a trust, mental health ambassador of backing players. When Mickey McGovern came in, I said, you know, he's still an international goalkeeper. Let's not forget that. And you know, he'll probably do all right. There was a case of him wasn't on his back, and I'm just trying to say, look, come on, support him because I don't imagine he looks on Twitter. But you know, if you look on Twitter and you're trying to get confidence, and all you're reading is, "Oh, we're going to lose 5-0 because McGovern's goal," he'll probably think, well, all right. We'll lose 5-0. What do I care? I'll get paid £8 a week. Up yours.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's how you got to look at it. And yeah, like even like player. Yeah, like you say, like McGovern. 33, 34. You know, still at old age, but he can still, like, you give him enough abuse, he can crack, can't he?
Yeah. We all love our club, and you know, when Todd Campbell's a Norwich boy through and through. But at the end of the day, they're paid to do a job, and if we give them abuse, why should they tolerate it?
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, I mean, I love it when football soak it up and they kind of, if you've got this kind of mental thinking or mental ability, then it's brilliant. But like, I mean, this is completely off the scale. But like Eto'o, what was it back in like 2014 for Chelsea? I remember journalists were going, oh, you know, too old to play in the league and that. Scored, but then he went to score a hat-trick against Arsenal or score a goal against Arsenal. Went to the corner flag, didn't he? And used it as a walking stick. I thought that was brilliant. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that is class. Yeah.
I think that's how football fans up brilliantly, right? That he brings Samuel Eto'o in and he's crap, he's old. I love him. I love him now.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. And yeah, I think we've got a great team though ourselves, and I mean, despite the loss against Watford, I was going to say, where do you think we will finish this season?
Oh, I'm always very wary of making predictions like that. I think when we did a prediction thing for the Canaries Trust, I think I actually went sixth because I wasn't confident. But looking at it now, I definitely say top two.
Yeah.
It depends on how we handle the bigger clubs, like your Watfords, who they're bouncing now because they've got new gaffer in charge.
Yeah.
But we held our own. If we can nick a point off the likes of them and Bournemouth, I don't really see anyone else in that league who's better than us at the minute, to be honest with you. So yeah, I'll say top two, and then
Yeah.
when we screw up in May, you can come back to me.
Yeah, I'll replay this on Twitter, mate. Yeah, no, I know. I did a Premier League prediction with my mate, and at the start of the season, and I'm already kind of. We're gonna do a reaction video on it soon, but I'm already gonna kind of like crapping in a way because I put West Ham to be relegated, and obviously they're like 10th or something like that right now. It's so hard to like call anyone, you know. Yeah, you are right though. Like it is about the Watfords. I mean, I was really I was scared with our game against Reading, but we got past the line. Even Brentford, I believe we won that, didn't we, as well? Or was it a draw? I can't remember that. It's so many games. Yeah, but it's like you say, like the Watford to that is like the key, and just kind of ending it really. But I it's so nice to hear how much of a relationship you have with the club, because honestly, I mean, before we started it, I thought Canaries Trust Mental Health was just the title, or kind of being there for Norwich fans and obviously other football fans or anyone. But I didn't realise how much of a relationship you have with the club. That's great to hear, though, mate.
Yeah, I'll say reiterate it because I get chastised if not. But Canaries Trust is the 12th largest shareholder in the football club, and as such, we've got such a great relationship with the club. We've got a thing called a memorandum of understanding, where basically everything the club decides, they sort of come through us as well and let us know at the same time. Yeah. So it's great we have that relationship, and I'd say going forward with the whole mental health side of things, it's been great working alongside Gary Dack, and he's been so supportive with everything. That it's great we have that relationship with the club for that as well, working alongside like likes of Ben Kensell. And we all know we're all singing from the same hymn sheet for that, and it's such a sort of heartwarming thing. I know the club's run brilliantly anyway, but to have them let the fans have a say in how things are run as well, it's just such a rare thing these days, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, it's nice, mate, and like you say, yeah, I mean, we're all supporters at the end of the day, and we have to support anyone, however bad or good they play. You know, we are there for that. I think that's kind of ended up really, but thank you so much today, Kris, for coming on, mate. And I'm glad we've done this as well, because I kind of want it in a way for anyone, because I do see, I never name names, I will, but I do see people on Twitter, you know, struggling, or just like hear from the ear that people are, you know, struggling with lockdown. So I kind of wanted to make it in a way to help people. I mean, it's just there for people to know who to speak to and where to get help and to know what to do during a crisis, a lockdown like this. If you'd like to talk to Kris or any of the mental health ambassadors, then please get in touch with the Canaries Trust Mental Health Group. You guys are always open, aren't you?
Yeah, we're always there.
Yep.
Yeah, that's our badge. You see that, you'll know where we are.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're always about. With me working shifts, generally I'm always about anyway. So yeah, there'll be someone to always answer anytime.
Yeah. I was gonna say you're like me, aren't you? You're kind of I remember you said you finish sometimes at like 3 a.m, isn't it, or something like that.
Oh yeah, some lovely times.
Yeah. No, you're like me though. Yeah, kind of like around the clock and that. Yeah, I know how that is. Are you guys on? I know you guys on Twitter, but are you on Facebook as well?
The trust is, so you can always contact the trust, and that'll be something we look to expand into in the new year with the terms of the mental health side. Yeah.
No, nice one. Be sure to check them out, and also if you want to seek any other help from any of the other charities that Kris has talked about, I'm going to put them on the screen right now. You should see them. There are many different numbers you can call if you ever do feel alone or need someone to talk to over this new Tier 4 lockdown, however long it will be that we're now in. Kris, thank you again. If you guys would like to see more content or even podcasts like this, then be sure to hit that subscribe button. Most importantly, if you like to talk to anyone though, then make sure you are there with the Canaries Trust Mental Health. They will help you. If you'd like to show your support though for this podcast today, then be sure to hit that like button. after the video. Thank you all for watching. Thank you again, Chris. I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.